Sure, I can tell you that I was born in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. I can tell you that at that time my dad was beginning his career in IBM in Owego, New York, outside of Binghamton. And I can tell you that my mom gave up her beauty salon to be a homemaker and a mother. I can tell you that while our house was being built in New York, my mom and I rotated from staying with her mom, an immigrant, and her in-laws, also immigrants, the Blancadinis. Yes, I am a second-generation American of Italian descent. I can tell you that when I was 6, on that very day, my brother, my only sibling, was brought home from the hospital, and he was my birthday present. I can tell you that I took 2 years of ballet and tap and 10 years of piano lessons. I can tell you that when I was 8, we moved to Montgomery County, Maryland. I attended Winston Churchill High School, and I graduated from Kutztown State College in Pennsylvania. I can tell you that my name is Anne Margaret McIntyre, that my favorite color is pink. My favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz because there is no place like home. I can tell you that I love hear Tony Bennett singing Blue Velvet. But, after all, those are just the basics. That doesn't tell you how I got here today. The real story begins during Christmas break, my freshman year at Kutztown. It was December 31st, 1974, and I was working in a clothing store at Montgomery Mall with Brenda Dinwiddie. Now, Brenda learned that I didn't have any plans to celebrate the new year, so she set up a blind date for me with Kim Meekins. Kim Meekins. Well, we had a blast. We went to dinner and dancing. And in the years that followed, we even won several dancing contests. After graduation, it was time to find a real job. Finally, I got an interview. Kim and I had arranged to meet that evening for more dinner and dancing to celebrate. So that morning, I put on my power dress. I packed the car with a change of clothes, my portfolio, which after all, a gal needs a portfolio if she's going to be a graphic designer. I packed all of that into the car. I went on my interview. It went okay. Later that night, I went to the club. We had a great time. Afterwards, we left the club and went to my car, because a gentleman walks a lady to her car, after all. We get to the car, there's no window. My car has been broken into. My power dress, gone. My winter coat, gone. My portfolio, gone. How in the world am I going to get a job? We started walking around and we found that all of my art, pieces of my art, are strewn all over the wet pavement and the grass. It's blowing in the wind. It's tattered, it's torn, it's destroyed. It's gone. I was certain that I would never get a job as a graphic designer. After all, I had no portfolio. But then after knowing Kim for 4 years, I finally find out that his real father, he grew up living with his adopted father and his mom, was the art director at United Way of America in Old Town Alexandria. Nice referral, Kim. His dad, Gil, didn't have any openings at the time, but he knew of a guy who had just opened a print shop in Alexandria also. And with Gil's recommendation, I was hired at Delancey Printing. Now, Delancey Printing had been in business only 6 months. There were only 12 employees, and I had to drive there every day from Gaithersburg, Maryland. No problem. Delancey had been formed by 4 men who couldn't stand the printer that they had worked for previously, so they opened their own company. One of the owners was Danny McIntyre. Danny hired his baby brother, Ron, his baby brother, Ron, to work for him. Ron teased me constantly, Every day was hell. We couldn't stand each other. After all, we fell in love and got married. And we celebrate 30 years this coming August. A few months before the wedding, Gil finally got me into United Way of America as a temp. I recall one of my very favorite annual projects was the design and layout of the promotional products catalog. And today, I sell promotional products. Coincidence? I don't think so. 15 years later, I left United Way as the director of publishing. I no longer needed a portfolio. Then it was on to CACI for 2.5 years, then Domain Vickers, that was only for 10 months. On to Bremer & Goris, a design firm. When I was there as a production manager, I coordinated projects with vendors, and that's how I met Chris Paul, the owner of FRC Marketing. And after 9/11, I lost my job. And I've been there ever since because I accepted that job. Just one person, one referral can make all the difference. My life has been a series of referrals. After all, my husband was a 5th-tier referral. My life so far has been one gigantic story of what goes around comes around. So BNI is a perfect fit. And who says 13 is an unlucky number? Toastmasters is a 13-tier referral. After all, that's how I got